Imagine this. You've spent your whole life building nothing extraordinary. 37 years, and all you have to show is a stable job, a few colleagues, a handful of dinners where you smile politely and nod along. No family waiting for you, no lover to share a quiet night with, just a salary, four walls, and a creeping sense that life has already passed you by. That was Satoru Mikami, a man who called himself ordinary, but with the kind of cynicism that hides a quiet ache. He jokes about it. Apparently, I had nothing to offer. But in those words, you hear resignation. A life half-lived, neatly boxed in routine. And then, without warning, everything ruptures. A scream in the street, a flash of steel, a blade where it should never be. And in that instant, Mikami does what so many wouldn't. He throws himself forward. Not because he is a hero, not because he believes in sacrifice, but because his body simply moves. He saves his junior colleague Tamura from a random stabbing, and the price he pays is his life. But this is not where his story ends. As his body collapses, as the warmth drains from his veins, the world does something strange. His fading consciousness is invaded, no, hijacked by a voice. Not a god, not a dream, but something mechanical, something precise. Resist heat, successfully acquired. Resist piercing weapon, successfully acquired. Skill messages. Notifications, like the interface of some game bleeding into reality. At first, they feel absurd, but as they continue, they become inescapable. A death scene recoded, transformed into something other. And here's the beauty of it. While his body bleeds, Mikami's mind clings to the most painfully human things. Not dignity, not eternity, but his computer, his hard drive, his secrets. He gasps out to Tamura, "Take my computer, put it in the bathtub, turn it on, and just fry everything on the disk for me." It's pathetic, it's hilarious, and it's real. Even in death, his fear isn't divine judgment, it's digital embarrassment, and the system hears him. It twists his anxiety into power. Resist electricity, successfully acquired. Do you feel it? The trap tightening? Because what makes this prologue so extraordinary isn't just the tragedy or the comedy, it's how seamlessly the two collapse into one another. Every insecurity, every half-joke Mikami mutters in the dark silence of his own mind is recorded, answered, upgraded. His regrets surface as his body goes cold. He thinks of his life as a 37-year-old virgin, his bitterness veined with shame. Imagine that, floating off to meet my maker in completely unused condition. He wants to laugh, he wants to curse, but the system doesn't mock him, it transforms him. Unique skill predator, successfully acquired. Predator. The word itself is a punchline turned into destiny, and then with the same dry resignation, he quips he could have been the great sage of celibacy. A meaningless line, a self-inflicted wound of humor. And yet, extra skill sage, evolving into unique skill, great sage, successful. His death becomes an alchemy. Every insecurity, every regret, every shard of wasted life is rewritten as strength. And here lies the trap. You think you are watching a man die. You think this is the end of the story. But with each system message, you realize you are at the beginning. Mikami is no longer in control. His thoughts are raw material. His mistakes are being transmuted. And in that terrifying, hilarious, surreal moment, he is reborn. But not yet. Not fully. The prologue lingers, stretching his death into something prolonged, almost ceremonial. This is no ordinary passing. It's a dismantling of self, stripped of pride, stripped of control, until all that remains is a voice, a body cooling, and a destiny being written without his permission. That's why this opening hits so hard. It is not grand. It is not noble. It is awkward, messy, absurd. A man dying in the street, worrying about his hard drive, joking about his virginity, bleeding out on concrete. And yet, it is through this humiliating ordinariness that the door to the extraordinary opens. And the system doesn't ask if he's ready. It doesn't care. It simply records, converts, bestows. What does it mean to die like that? To have your final thoughts weaponized? To know that your shame, your regrets, your mundane complaints could become the very core of your next life? That's the genius of this prologue. It balances the edge of tragedy with the absurdity of humor. It gives you a man you laugh at, then forces you to care about him as he bleeds. It makes you think you're watching a joke, and then twists that joke into the architecture of something vast, something destined. This isn't just a death. This is the recalibration of fate. And when the final breath leaves Satoru Mikami, the trap is already sprung. The hooks are already buried deep. You're not watching a man fade, you're watching a legend ignite, one system message at a time. Because the story doesn't begin with glory, it begins with a man convinced he had nothing to offer, a man who dies with embarrassment on his lips, and a voice, mechanical and merciless, rewriting his every word into power. From this moment forward, the world will never be the same.